Here's little Maggie. Hi everyone. Well, love this dog. So today, haven't made any new videos recently. So it's the 5th of February, and today will be a bittersweet video. I just lost one of my pokies, a very hard loss that I'm taking it pretty hard. One of my females. And I got 3 new molts I'd like to share with you because I haven't featured those in the last feeding video. Hopefully it will be featured in the next one. Well, this was one of my tough losses, one of my pokies. Unfortunately, it was my P.tigrinawesseli, the Wessel Tiger ornamental. I noticed that when she molted, she was very rough. She had, I don't know if you can see her body, I'm just going to show it to you. Yeah, she's passed on. If you notice that her hind legs were kind of pushed inwards, she did lose a leg on pair 1, as you can see, but usually when tarantulas do that, they do that in the wild to escape for predators, but you don't have to worry about T's losing legs because they have regenerating capabilities. When they molt, they'll start to regrow back their lost legs. So unfortunately, I got home, she was on the floor, curled inward. So I tried to move her. She did move a bit, and then I put her in ICU, and she didn't make it. It was a very tough loss because pokies are one of my favorite species. So, yeah, it's sad. So Tarantula Canada does have a couple of them left, so I'm going to be actually getting some. Now they're selling for 55 bucks for 3/4 of an inch, so I'm going to be buying 2 of them. So hopefully I'll get a female and a male. So rest in peace, Tina. You will certainly be missed, and one of my cool pokies too. I love the P.tigrinawesseli, even though that they're not a hot seller, they should be, because they're really cool. Okay, so I'm going to freeze her body, and then I'm going to send this to my friend Mike, Postal Therapy page, and he's going to do genetic research on it, so I think it'll be pretty cool to contribute a wonderful specimen. Now this one I didn't show on feeding video. These are the molts that I'd like to share with you. I'm not sure if you can actually see this one. He's over here. This is my Haplopelma lividum, cobalt blue. About 1.5 inches right now. These are actually growing fairly quickly. I never actually kept Haplopelma as slings before, so this is kind of new to me. I did have an adult named Midna II, lived about 6 years before she died. She was a wild-caught specimen though, so couldn't expect really much. So she did live her life, and now I'm going to have another cobalt blue, because cobalt blues are a must-have in the collection. Really nice blue coloration on their legs, and get to having a 5-inch leg span, and they're pretty mean. Okay, so this is something new that just recently molted. I believe she molted this morning. This is my Eupalaestrus weijenberghi. This is known as the white collared. This is the same genus as the PZB, or the Pink Super Beauty. This is a nice size specimen, about 1 inch. These are very, very slow growing teas. They take around, on excess, 5 to 7 years to maturity. Now, these tarantulas are a lot smaller than your Pink Super Beauty. They get up to having a 4-inch leg span. They're going to have a cream colored body with bluish black legs. They're really cool, and they have the thick legs just like your typical Eupalaestrus. And this is the prized gem in my collection that just molted. Mystery, my unknown species that later found out to be a Citharacanthus livingstoni. Now this is an impressive looking species that is very rare in the hobby, and I do want to show you the pretty colors on the specimen right after her molts. I don't know if the camera is picking up well. You can see that she has red hairs all over her abdomen and as well as her legs, and she's kind of like a bluish black color. Now I believe I haven't done a Mythbuster video on this species. I'm probably going to do one probably this weekend when I'm going to be much more available. Now they're pretty similar to Haplopelma seemani and Karasheet. These get up to having a 6-inch leg span, which you're seeing right now is an adult female. And yeah, the skittish, not very defensive, and you just keep them on deep substrate and they'll burrow, and pretty good. Now I'll show you the molts. and I'm going to show you actually how to sex one. So here's the molt. She molted a couple of days ago, so you can see that the molt is rock hard, so you can't really tell. So what I'm going to do is I have a bowl here of soap and water. This was featured in Talon WAD's channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the molt in there to soften it up. You can see right now it's much more pliable. So what I'm going to do is put it on the plate. I'll make sure it doesn't, well, it doesn't matter if it gets on my bed. Okay. So you can see right now it's much more pliable. So now what I'm going to do is open up the abdomen area, because a lot of people have asked me how to sex tease by molt. So I'm going to show you what a female looks like. It's going to be really easy to tell for such a large specimen. This is a 6-inch female, I believe. Okay. So, you can probably see, here are your book lungs. You have book lung pairs 1, and then on the bottom 2. So if you notice right over here where I'm pointing to with my chopstick, you can see there is the flap right here. This is called the spermathecae. This is the sperm sac where the female stores the sperm. Obviously, when the T is mated, she's going to be laying eggs. And that is an indication that it is 100% female. If you have a male tarantula, you're not going to see this flap. So, the way to measure teeth is I always measure by their leg span, never by their body length. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch it as much as I can without breaking the molts, which is probably not going to do so well. Okay, and if I push it there, so I meet the first leg at the top, and she's around 13 centimeters, so that's around a good 5.5 inches. So 5.5, almost 6. If I do diagonally, yeah, she's the same, around 13 centimeters. So it's a very cool specimen. If you ever come across them in the hobby, they're really cool to treat. And for $50 from Tarantula Canada, you certainly can't beat it. And it was an unknown species, and later found out to be C. livingstoni. It's such a great tea. So yeah, so here's the video showing my Eupalaestrus weijenberghi, the white colored, freshly molted. My C. livingstoni. H. lividum, cobalt blue, and the unfortunate passing of my P.tigrinawesseli. So I'm going to be freezing her body and going to give it to Mike, my good friend from Ontario, who's going to do some DNA research on these pokies, because right now we have such a problem with going extinct, because right now they're critically endangered, so we want to try to save them, encouraging captive breeding. Alright everyone, hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for a new Soundhill 4 video coming up this week, and some more videos on the weekend. Thanks everyone.